Trying to break into AI, it can feel completely impossible, right? It's like trying to get into the most exclusive, hyper-competitive club in the world. But what if the secret playbook came from someone who, well, didn't really seem to fit the mold? That's what we're digging into today. The amazing and unconventional path of Anthropic co-founder Tom Brown.
And this quote, this is where it all starts. It's from Tom Brown himself, one of the first hires at OpenAI, a huge deal at Anthropic. A B- in linear algebra? That's kind of the bedrock of AI. It's such a refreshingly honest thing to say, and it just completely shatters the stereotype of what an AI pioneer is supposed to sound like.
So how does a person with a B in a core math class even begin to think about a career at AI research? Seriously. For Tom, back in 2015, this wasn't just a small worry. It was a major dilemma. He was absolutely filled with self-doubt.
And you've got to understand the vibe back then. Tom felt like you had to be a top superstar, a certified genius, just to contribute anything at all. The whole field had this intimidating aura, and he was genuinely afraid that he wouldn't just fail to help, but that he'd actually be a drag on them. Imagine that feeling.
But here's where the story gets really good. Instead of just giving up, he decided to take matters into his own hands. He knew it would be tough, but he was like, okay, if the front door is locked, I'm going to build my own key. He committed to forging his own path, built on nothing but intense, focused self-study.
This number says it all. 6. That's how many months he gave himself. A 6-month, heads down, no distractions, sprint. It's like a training montage in a movie, but for real. To go from feeling like an outsider to being ready to knock on the front door of the entire industry.
So what does a DIY AI education even look like? Well, he built his own toolkit, he was hitting up Coursera for the basics, getting his hands dirty with practical Kaggle projects, and diving into must-read books like Linear Algebra done right. And get this, he even used a Y Combinator alumni credit to buy a GPU so he could run his own experiments. He wasn't just reading, he was doing.
Okay, so he's put in the work, he's got the knowledge. But, and this is a big but, knowing stuff isn't always enough, is it? You got to get your foot in the door. The next piece of the puzzle was turning all that hard work into an actual opportunity. And for that, he needed a connection.
And the way this connection happened is just wild. It wasn't at some fancy tech conference. Nope. It started years earlier when Tom worked at a group dating app. And it just so happened that Greg Brockman, the future president of OpenAI, loved the app. So when OpenAI was announced, Tom used that connection. He messaged Greg every single month, offering to do literally anything. He even said he'd mop floors. And that persistence, it finally paid off.
But here's a massive reality check. Getting in the door wasn't the finish line. Not even close. Even after he got a project, it took another 9 months before he was actually working on machine learning. Think about that. It's such a great lesson in patience and proving your worth once you're on the inside.
So, what can we all learn from this incredible journey? Well, Tom basically distilled his whole experience into a 5-point playbook. And honestly, this isn't just for AI. It's for anyone trying to crack into a super competitive field.
Tip number 1, and this one's huge. It's all about your environment. He calls it growth by osmosis. It's this idea that you don't just learn from books, you kind of soak up the habits and mindsets of the people around you. Being around the OpenAI team wasn't just a job for him. It was a way to accelerate his own growth.
All right, tip 2. Learning is not a solo sport. I know, we just talked about his 6-month solo study session, but his real breakthrough came from a mentor, Greg Brockman, and being part of a team. A mentor helps you avoid the pitfalls, and having friends on the same path, well, they keep you going when you want to quit.
Number 3 is a total game changer. It's about how you ask. He didn't just say, "Can I have a job?" He came with a plan to help. Remember the mop the floors offer? That's not asking for a favor. That's offering value. That one little shift in mindset changes the entire dynamic.
His 4th tip is my personal favorite. Just do the thing. All the theory in the world is useless without practice. His real learning didn't start with Coursera. It started when he fired up that GPU and started experimenting. Failure isn't a dead end. It's a road sign that tells you exactly where to go next.
And his final tip, number 5, is maybe the most practical one of all. Stay lean. Keeping your expenses low isn't just about saving cash. It's about buying yourself freedom. That whole 6-month study period was only possible because he had the financial runway to take a huge risk on himself.
Now, here's a huge disclaimer straight from Tom. He's very clear that his 2015 strategy might not work today. The world's changed, the field's changed. So what's the playbook for right now?
Basically, the game has changed.
Back then, it was about proving you had the basic skills just to be helpful. Today, that's just the entry fee. It doesn't even get you in the door. The new playbook is all about ambition. It's about taking big swings and working on impressive projects that make people stop and pay attention. And this really gets to the heart of his new advice. The goal shouldn't just be to get a job. The goal should be to work on stuff that genuinely excites you, things that the absolute best version of yourself would be incredibly proud of. Because that's the kind of passion that leads to work that no one can ignore.
So we'll leave you with this question, taken right from Tom's philosophy. It's not about planning your next 5 years. It's about this week. What's one project, one risk, one single thing you could start this week that would make that idealized version of you really proud?